Hey, this is Mike from Edge 50 TV, and I'm going to be talking about Eddie Hearn and his recent interview in regards to Dillian Whyte's future plans. Now, if you guys are aware, on Wednesday, Eddie Hearn was on Sky's Toe to Toe podcast, and he was talking about various things. Devin Haney, Garcia. He was talking about the upcoming schedule on Friday that's coming out, which I'm going to be talking about as soon as it gets released. Also, he was talking about the fighters' future plans like Dillian Whyte and Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. I'm going to do a video on that as well. But, we're going to talk about what he said about Dillian Whyte, what he wants for Dillian Whyte in 2021. Now, we all know that Dillian Whyte is going to be fighting Povetkin in a rematch as part of that schedule that Eddie Hearn is going to release on Friday. But what's going to happen after? And Eddie Hearn said some very interesting things in that interview. So here's what he said.
Dillian Whyte, Povetkin rematch. What's the next step with him with the world titles tied up if he was to beat Povetkin?
I think there's only one fight for him, and that's Deontay Wilder. Dillian Whyte versus Deontay Wilder is one of the biggest fights in boxing.
Now, it looks to me like Eddie Hearn is determined to make Dillian Whyte and Deontay Wilder for the second half of 2021. Now, I like this fight. You know me. If you've seen my videos from the past, you know that I've been wanting this fight from day dot. This fight is what I've been asking for. This is going to be a good, entertaining fight. The pre-fight alone, that is going to be worth the ticket in itself. I don't care about the fight. I just watch the pre-fight. That's all I do. I just watch the pre-fight because this is going to be fireworks. Dillian Whyte can talk, and he can talk a good game. Deontay Wilder can talk, and he can talk a good game. It is going to be explosions, mate. This is going to be a fantastic fight if this fight can get made. And do I think this fight can get made? I think that there's never been a better time and a better opportunity for Eddie Hearn to make this fight with Deontay Wilder. Now, in regards in the past, it was very difficult to get Deontay Wilder to fight Dillian Whyte. If people know Dillian Whyte, he's the can man. Anyone can get it. And he's been calling out Deontay Wilder for the longest. He was WBC mandatory for how many days? 300, 400, God knows. I lost count how many days he was mandatory for. So he's been calling out Wilder, and Wilder's been ducking him, making one excuse after the other. Eddie Hearn threw $5 million at him. He threw another $5 million. He's throwing more money. And he was saying, fight Dillian Whyte to fight Joshua. He was doing everything he can to try to get the Dillian Whyte fight. But Deontay Wilder wasn't biting. Dillian Whyte and Deontay Wilder, they even had a little bit of back and forth on their DMs on Instagram. And even on Instagram, Deontay Wilder said, I ain't going to have to face you for 2 years. So he basically admitting to ducking Dillian Whyte via DM.
I'll show you guys, because there you go.
Tell your promoters to give me what I want. Get it on easy. Because honestly, I don't have to do anything for at least 2 years. Get out.
Oh, wow. Well,
also, Deontay Wilder hasn't got the best relationship with Eddie Hearn due to the failed negotiations for the Anthony Joshua fight, and it left a sour taste in his mouth. But since that time, he got beat by Tyson Fury. The money is dried up. There's no more big fights for him now. So, he can fight a no-name, or like I say, let's say a Kawanaki or another no-name that no one's not really, other than the hardcore fans, has heard of. And he can fight and those kinds of fights. But I got the feeling that if Deontay Wilder wants to get that bread again, it's very hard earning lots of money in super fights with Tyson Fury and going back to, the bread and butter and getting like pocket change. So he's going to be looking for big names that's going to earn him maximum amount of revenue. And there's no other name that can maximize, other than the big names like, Fury, Joshua, those kinds of things, than Dillian Whyte. Now, before you say something, you guys are probably mentioning, oh, what about Andy Ruiz? That's a big fight. Yeah, Andrew Ruiz is a big fight for him. But I don't think that that fight is going to generate the same amount of money as Dillian Whyte, for one. And number two, I don't even know if Andy Ruiz is coming back. Let's face it. People talk about other fighters with certain desires. I question if Ruiz has got the desire to come back, because from what I've seen, he ain't got desire to come back anytime soon. But hey, I could be wrong, and he could announce a fight the next day. But for me, I don't think that Ruiz is in the picture, and I don't think he'll be interested in fighting Wilder anyways. But Wilder seems more keen than ever. He's talking up fighting Dillian Whyte now. He's mentioning Dillian Whyte in interviews now, as in he wants to fight. So there's never been a better opportunity for this fight to happen. And fingers crossed, it does get made. But what do you guys think? Do you guys want to see that fight? Dillian Whyte and Deontay Wilder? Do you think it's going to be entertaining? Is that the fight that you want to see Dillian Whyte in 2020? Leave your comments below. I want to hear what you guys have to say. By the way, have a look at my video about Dillian Whyte talking about Anthony Joshua. Has he lost his motivation? I put my comments on that as well. So have a look at that video. Also, I got a video on Manny Pacquiao, what his future opponents is going to be in 2021. So have a look at that video if you've got time. Remember, like, subscribe to this channel if you like this content, because I'll be posting on the regular. Anything else you want me to talk about, let me know, and I'm going to talk about it.